Alrighty, what's going on, everybody? I'm gonna show you guys how to put your 808s or your bass sounds in general in key. If you guys are struggling with that, I know a lot of people do struggle with that. Yep, I'm gonna show you guys multiple ways to do it. This is the sample I'm working with today, or the beat I'm working with.
Chris, you don't ever miss.
So I'm going to show you guys multiple ways to do it. So when you have a bass VST, I just have a sub bass out of Analog Lab called Dub Sub. This is the sub bass here. Yep. And the way I figured out how to put that in key with the overall melody or the chord progression, so it's all together, it's all in key. The way you figure those notes out is you grab the main part of the sample or the loop that you're using, and then this goes with the same thing if you're just using root notes. So if you create a piano melody, piano chords, you see how my root notes are E, C, and D, E, C, and D. So those are the bass notes that you want to use. You always want to use just the root notes of your melody. So those are the notes to use. That's what I used here on this sub bass. E, C, and D. So that's how you find out the notes to use using the root notes. But if you have a sample that somebody gave you, a loop that you got, or whatever, if it doesn't have bass on it, you want to put bass, which you want it to be in key, you double click the sample, you right click the edit in audio editor right here, click that, and then you want to click the flag symbol right here, detect pitch regions. And then you want to, let me make sure Edison is on. Yep, it's on. So now it's going to play. And then you want to just play the sample or play the loop. And you see how it starts on the E note. So that means that that root note is E. Right there, you can tell that's a chord change. So that's C. It changes right on C. See how this is C? All this is C right here. So it goes E. Oh, sorry about that. So it goes E, C, D. See where this chord change was? D. So you still have to pay attention, and you got to know when your chord progression is changing. Definitely got to have somewhat some music knowledge to know when chords change. So you can follow the root notes on Edison, how I'm showing you. So it's E, C, D. Those notes correspond with the root notes on the piano roll, how I just showed you, like this. So if you made a chord progression, E, C, D, E, C, D. So that's how you find out the notes of the bass, and it's same thing with the 808s. But the only thing with the 808s is you don't have to do this part that I'm going to show you right now with VST bass sounds or 808s unless it has like a detune feature on it, but normally they should be tuned to natural C and be played as an instrument on your VST. But if you're just using 808s like majority producers do, you drag your 808 sample in, you drag it in, you double click it, you go to edit in audio editor, and then you click this flag thing right here, you click detect pitch regions, and it should tell you the note that the 808 is actually tuned to. So this wave file is tuned to the A note. It says A. So in order to make sure it's your note is playing the actual note that it says in the piano roll, like this says E, this says C, and the other one was D, it's actually going to be E, C, and D when you put it on the piano roll. if you tune it. So the way you tune it is, first, how I just showed you, you got to make sure what note this is. So that's an E. So now you go back to the sample. This is the 808 right here. You click this tab. Since it said E, you want to go to E. Right here. C, D, E, F, G, E. You want to click E. You want to right click it. You don't want to left click it. That just plays the sample, doesn't do anything. So you want to click right, and right away your 808 will be in key. Another few things to do with your 808 is make sure you click cut itself. So that means it'll cut out every time you hit it. It won't keep playing. And then you want to just lower the attack. This is the general way you want to have your 808s modulated here, is with the hold all the way up but everything else down. And that means that you'll have full control over your 808s, and however long you press the 808 for, it'll stop once you let go of it. So that's important too. That's just another 808 trick. So yep, that's how you make sure your 808s are, in key. You want to check it in here. You want to click that, detect pitch regions, check the note, and then you want to make sure you change it on this little piano tool right here. And then to check the notes, I just showed you guys how to check the notes. Whether you have a chord progression, you always follow the bass notes, the root notes. Once you start your chord progression out, you follow those. And then to figure out when you have just a sample, you right click this, detect pitch regions, and then you just listen to the sample, and you got to pay attention to find the chord progression changes of the sample, and then you can figure it out. So that's really how you get your 808s in key, using that Edison feature how I just showed you, and just following your root notes, and just staying in the overall scale of the chord progression. But you generally always want to just follow your root notes. It's okay to somewhat go out of the progression, out of the scale, or not out of the scale, but just away from the chord notes that are making up the chord, and still stay in the scale. It still sounds good, but you definitely always want to lead with the root notes. All right, I just showed you guys how to find the root notes, how to put your 808s in key, the other couple of ways how to do it. So this is how to do it when you get a loop or a sample from somebody. So once you drag your loop or your sample in FL Studios, you put it up here, put it on the playlist. You want to double click it, right click on the WAV file, edit in audio editor, click this flag icon again right here, detect pitch regions. Or I guess you can do that after I show you this, but it's always good just to delete everything else except the bass right here. So I'm deleting everything else except the bass. You want to press Command X. I think on Windows it's Control X. Command X, delete everything else. So you just have your bass. That's the bass loop. So you always want to make sure you find where the bass is on your sample, and then go into Edison and do what I just showed you. And then you want to click this wrench tool right here. You want to click convert to score and dump to piano roll. Click that, and what it will do, it will create the notes of what the audio was just at. So it always puts it perfectly on key. But the only thing about it is sometimes it messes up, and the notes will be rearranged, and they won't be hitting on exactly where they need to be, but it's still playing the right notes but not in the right order. So you kind of have to figure that out sometimes. So what I figured, so what you have to do really is just find out what note that the sample is playing on, so you can compare it. You can just copy these notes over, highlight, Control C, copy, go into your 808 piano roll. Once you put your 808 in there, you go inside the 808 piano roll, you paste that there, and then you just have to listen to see which way the notes are coming in. That's how you find the notes, or you create the notes of the 808 or what the bass is on the sample that someone gave you, so you can put in your own 808s. You have the bass like that, it'll dump it out. Sometimes it might be not 100%, but you just kind of have to listen and move around the notes and figure it out. What you can also do is you click the sample, edit in audio editor, you hear tech pitch regions again, and then you can figure out the notes right here. So it says A, C, F. But sometimes it might not be completely right. That's why I got it wrong. It's actually F, A, C. So this is F, A, and C. It's just not showing this F here. It didn't put that in for some reason. So it's F, A, and C. So that's what I put on the piano roll right here. F, A, C. Yep, so that's how you get your 808s and keys, guys. If you have any questions at all, leave it in the comments or shoot me an email. Thank you for watching the video. You know, my tutorials are very straightforward based, very quick and effective information. I'd appreciate it if you'd leave a like and subscribe if you thought this video was helped you out and was very informational to you. Thank you. Bye.